Okay, Tony, after 2 seasons of Survivor, you finally know the pain of being voted out. How do you describe that moment when Jeff snuffs your torch?
Absolutely devastating, awful. And the first, well, not the first thing, but one thing that popped to my mind, man, I feel so bad of all those torches that I got, that I had a big part of snuffing in Cagayan. I'm like, wow, that really hurts, man, and it sucks.
Right. And before we get to the whole Sandra drama, everyone wants to know, why did you vote for Aubrie? She seemed to be your number 2.
No, well, when we had the alliance going, myself, Sandra, Aubrie, Caleb, and Malcolm, we were good. We were strong. We were solid. But then when the Sandra episode happened, Sandra happened to turn Aubrie against me. So when I went back to Aubrie to talk to her to try to work something out, to try to make her flip against Sandra, she wasn't having anything to do with it. So she wasn't giving me any play. So at that point, I knew she wasn't working with me. So, and that's why she wasn't my number 2 no more. I didn't have any numbers no more at that point. Once Sandra turned on me, she turned everybody against me. I had no numbers, gone, just like that.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, they didn't show some of that on TV.
Yeah.
Part of me is wondering, if you and Sandra had found a way to work together, you probably could have made it very far in this game.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%, and we were golden. That alliance that we had was golden. We had Haley, we could have got rid of, because she's really she's not going to protect anybody. She's not threatening enough to protect any of us. We had Troyzan, not threatening enough to protect any of us, and we had Jeff Arna. We all 5 of us could protect each other. We're threats that we could use each other to protect each other as shields. And those 3, they were soft targets. They were easy to get rid of. So we were good. We were like, you know what, we lose, we could just get rid of these guys. And then what happened was, that bad moment that I heard my name being thrown out there from Troyzan and Sandra, that ruined everything for me. That was the beginning of my end right there.
And what did you think of Sandra's trash talk at the end as you were walking away? It didn't seem very sportsmanlike of her, a little arrogant maybe. It may come back to bite her, I think.
Yeah, when you play that game, it's emotions it's a high stakes game, So everything is like, I get it, where she was coming from. Like she was just like venting, like it was like you remember in Cagayan when Sarah got voted out. We were all clapping, we were happy. It's just an emotional reaction that you're just happy that it worked for you. So like if it worked for me and Sandra got voted out last night, I might have said something snarky myself. I might have just been happy just like she was. Maybe she's, it made it seem that it was a little bit more personal. But I didn't take it personal. I didn't mind. Like, okay, you got me. You got the best of me. You have the right to trash talk me now. I'm walking out of here. You're still sitting there. So I give you the props,
Right. And speaking of Sarah, if you had both made it to the merge together, do you think you guys would have rekindled that Cops R Us alliance? I always loved the bond you guys had.
Man, absolutely. I would have loved to. As far as I'm concerned, I would have definitely said, Sarah, I'm down to work with you. We're all we know out here. We have a history. Let's try to make it far. Let's try to make it to the end together. I would be more than happy. But that never happened. Thank you, Sandra.
And coming into this game, you knew you'd be a huge threat. And realistically, how far did you think you could get? Did you think there was a way that you could find your way making it to the final 3? Even with that big target on your back?
Yeah, the way they treated me at this second vote off, when I know I was going home, where nobody wanted to talk to me, where everybody was just lying to me and just trying to avoid me at all costs, I thought that's how I was going to be treated right from the start. And I was surprised that I wasn't. I was surprised that, and you've seen how as soon as I got there, I just made it all known to everybody. I'm just going to be the Tony that you've seen on Cagayan. I'm just going to be a jokester. I'm going to run around. I'm going to goof off and just be a big goofball. And I did that. And that's why I did that with, hey, guys, I'm going to run and look for the idol, and behind every truth, every joke lies the truth. And I said it jokingly, but it was true. I was looking for the idol. And they just chalked it off as like, you know what? Tony's just a big goofball. And it was clear that they just wrote it off as that because I didn't get voted off first. They didn't mind. They accepted me as just being a big prankster, a jokester, and they left it at that. They put their guards down. They didn't care until Sandra turned everybody against me. But I thought once I seen how I was after the first vote, I was like, okay, I have something good here. I have Aubrie, I have Sandra, I have Caleb, I have Malcolm. I think I can get deep in this game, you know? And then that all, in a snap of a finger, it all turns around a complete 180.
Mm. And looking at people like Caleb and Malcolm, it doesn't seem like they made the correct decision because they were kind of using you as their shield of strength. And now that you're gone, they're very vulnerable.
And that was my whole pitch to them. I was like, guys, you know, I know Sandra's pitching, throw my name out there. She's pitching to you guys that you guys should get rid of me. You guys need me. I'm your negotiating tool. You can use me. You can throw me under the bus later on when we merge against the other side. Because ultimately that's what it is. It's our side against theirs. You go into the merge without a shield. Who are you going to throw in front of them? You're going to throw Troyzan? No, they don't care. They don't need to vote on Troyzan because he's not that threatening to them. They're not going to get rid of Haley or Jeff Varner because they're not that threatening to them more than you are. Malcolm, more than you are. Caleb, you could go on an immunity run. You know, so more than you are. Aubrie, you know, people know you. You're a huge threat. You need people like me that's equivalent to the threat you are. You know, that you can use me as a negotiating tool. When somebody says, let's get rid of Aubrie, you can say, hold up, guys, don't get rid of me now. I'll vote with you. Let's get rid of Tony. And it would work, you know? So for them to get rid of me that early on in the game, I don't think it was smart. I really don't.
Mm-hmm. Do you know how the tribes were divided? Because it is interesting that JT, he's a former winner. He's off on his own with no other former winners to battle against.
Yeah, I really don't know how. We're just given buffs, and that's it. You're in this tribe, you're in that tribe.
Okay, so it's maybe just random.
Yeah.
In the very first few moments, Ozzy jumped over the ship to go get the toolkit. Do you think that the fact that his tribe had those tools, did that help them win the first two challenges?
I don't think that helped them in the challenges at all. I mean, the weather was beautiful there. As a matter of fact, we didn't even build a shelter till like the fourth day. Nobody even cared about a roof. You know, it was so beautiful out there. It wasn't hot. It wasn't cold. It wasn't raining. It wasn't humid. It was just perfect weather. You know, so I don't really think that the tools didn't help them at all. Just that they just outplayed us. You know, they outperformed us in the challenges both times.
Gotcha. And all your fans want to know, you know, you after winning the $1 million in Cagayan, what did you do with some of that money?
Well, half of it goes to Uncle Sam, and the other half I invested it. It's just that simple. They knock on your door and say, "Give me half your money." You flip it over. But yeah, so the other half I invested in a 4-family building in Jersey City, an investment property. And to me, it's like, you know, I bought the cow with the money and I milk it every month with the rental income, and the cow just keeps getting fatter with equity. So, you know, it's a gift that keeps on giving. So thank you, Survivor.
If Survivor came knocking at your door saying, we want you to come back a third time, what would you say?
If they knocked on my door right now, well, I'm talking to you, I'd say no. Maybe in an hour from now or a month from now, I might say yes. But right now, I think I'm done.
I see. You're just too emotional and
Oh, no, not even emotional. I just don't think I have what it takes to win again. And I'm not going to go play that game if I'm not going to win, you know? Sandra obviously had what it takes to win twice, so maybe she could win a third time. You know, she has the skills that it takes. I obviously didn't. I wasn't, because we went out there on that beach at one point and we had the same mission, to turn the people against her. Her mission was to turn them against me. Her mission was accomplished. Mine wasn't. Kudos to her. She's a better player.
And last question, Tony. We still have many, many weeks to go, but of the remaining 18 players, who do you personally want to win? Who are you rooting for to win this game?
I would want my girl Sarah to win, because I know her. You know, that's the only person that I do know because of the experience we had at Cagayan. But I'm also rooting for Sandra. She outwitted me. She's doing great, and I hope she gets far, and I hope she can make it to the end. Because because I respect gameplay, and she was good enough to these people, Malcolm, Caleb, Aubrie, they didn't want to go against me, but they did it anyway. You know how much skills it takes to do that, to make you do something you really don't want to do, and you still did it. That's impressive.
Wow. Well, we're very happy to talk to you today, but on the other hand, we're also sad because you make such great TV. I would have loved to see you make it all the way to the end again.
Oh, man, sorry to disappoint, man.
Well, have a great rest of your day, Tony. We'll see you at the reunion show.
Thank you so much, Marcus. I appreciate that.
Okay. Bye bye.